I'm just setting up our stream. Monday is always the hardest day. It's just a hard day, especially when the Eagles lose and with the world, what's going on never ends. What's going on? All right, let's turn the stream on.
Finance Minister Klingbeil on transatlantic relations says we want to use all options for dialogue with the US. The differences are becoming bigger.
So I just want to give everyone a little bit of a heads up. I have contacted everybody about what happened last Friday morning. It wasn't just one or two people that had frozen orders. It was all over the place. People's orders were frozen, trades were ruined. Um, this was not an isolated, just a typical frozen order situation. I reached out to our programmer, and our programmer believes that there was a problem not with us, 100% not with us, but with the data. There were orders that were not filled that should have been filled, and they weren't. So I've reached out to Ninja, and the first thing that happens when you reach out to Ninja is they send you a stock, idiotic AI email telling you, do this, do that, check your performance. It's just a load of crap. And you have to realize, you have to say, please send this request to a human because you deserve to be heard by a human when you have a tech support issue that we consider serious. So I'm waiting to hear from them, and I'm waiting to hear from Bullinox, and we'll see what they say. I think that look, they're not going to give us winning trades in retrospect, but if you blew an account because of that data, they should reinstate the accounts, if they admit that it was their fault, which I do believe it was. I absolutely believe it was their fault. Give me 1 second here.
Germany's November current account surplus of 15.099 billion euros. That's compared to the prior 14.8 billion euros.
All right, sorry for the delay. Sorry for the delay. All right. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus. We're here for the Oil Open and the US Open. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. All right, good morning. I'm watching the YM on the right, YM 0326, and we've got oil on the left. I think, let's see, CL, double click the future, and I'm going over to new market analyzer. I want to look at oil, add instrument CL226. We're 3 days until rollover. Add CL326. And we're almost mixed volume, which I hate. I hate. In other words, there's almost as much volume on the future contract as there is on the current oil contract. I don't like that. That can create fills that aren't as good when most of the volume is on the main contract. So we're getting close to rollover. It's only 3 days or so. So there's a lot of trading on the March contract already. Now, on the YM, I'm going to load up a magnet. I'm testing another version and found a big, big issue. So it's a constant battle. All right, I'm not doing anything yet on the magnet. First things first, on YM, I am putting on a reverse continuation. It's a little bit early to even be thinking about the YM. Calvin, I totally expected the Eagles to lose yesterday. I just don't care that much about football. I love baseball. I could not get into the football season very much this year. Just couldn't care. I don't care that much. It bothers me. It doesn't ruin my day the way baseball did. Putting a reverse continue on the YM, just a couple of contracts, one position, 35 target, 35 stop. reverse continue. I think, I think I have to check and see if I can trade in number 23. I might have ruined this account. I'm not sure I can trade in it. Let me check. So it's a reverse continue YM. Let me just see if I can trade this account.
Order submitted.
Okay, it looks like this account
Order
is
canceled.
fine. So we should be able to trade in 23. Yeah, it looks okay. All right. On oil, I'm going to put a reverse continuation on oil. Yeah, I like seeing different teams also. It's all scripted anyway. It's all fraud. It's all set up for gambling. Pretty much gambling has ruined all sports, and the transfer portal has totally destroyed college sports. College sports are completely meaningless. They were always meaningless for me anyway. I never followed college sports. Couldn't care less. But I know people are crazy for college sports, but gambling has totally destroyed college sports and the transfer portal. Absolutely destroyed college sports. Absolutely ruined it. So we have a reverse continuation discretionary trade for the YM. Right now, the YM very negative. Markets are very negative. Metals very bullish. Very bullish on metals. Just checking our stream, make sure the stream is working, and it is. Okay, so on oil, we're going to put a reverse continue on oil. Now my sound is too loud on my laptop. Let me turn that down. All right. Because when you stream on YouTube, there is a latency of it's about 10 or 15 seconds these days. It's a pretty big latency on YouTube. So a reverse continue. Let's take a look at oil on a 10-minute chart. So looking at oil, let me do a 15-minute, see a little bit more. So looking at the market open last night, oil made a nice move up, almost got over 60, and then a couple hours later, like 9 p.m., it really started before 9 p.m. Looks like it started pretty much maybe an hour after the open, not even. It just started selling off, and it's been selling off ever since until 7, little after 7. It tried to push up, it failed the VWAP, and I would say that oil would definitely be considered bearish at the moment. Oil is bearish. However, it's above 58. It almost got over 60. So there is a change afoot, I think. I think there is a change afoot in oil. Looking at a daily chart, So you could see that there's been some upward movement to break the sell-off. So we'll see what happens today. I will take just a normal trade. I'm not going to try and outthink it this morning. I think oil can move in any direction this morning on the open. It looks to me that down is preferable, right? I think we can say that that's probably true. I'm not a big magnet trader on oil. Oil is a little bit too slow for me personally. I just don't like the speed at which it trades, to be honest. I don't like the speed it trades at in general. Hang on, folks. I'm just setting up a couple of default setups. Just for my testing, that's all this is. All right. All right, back to oil. So on oil, I'm going to set up a reverse continue, just so we have a discretionary trade set up. So I'm going to click on News Trader. I'm going to change the breakout to a reverse continuation, one position. I think I created a template for this, but I'll set it up this morning. Position 1 is a 1, target 1 is 20 ticks, and the stop is 20 ticks. Just a simple reverse continue. Usually we don't use it as a general rule, and I will trade my market open oil funded account number 55, and I'll label it CL reverse continue. Apply it, okay it, make sure our chart is on 55, sorry, and turn it on. So we have a reverse continuation, and then we have our normal oil market open trade. That is a range trade. Click News Trader, change breakout to range. Go down to range trade and start the range at 8:59 Eastern Time. Now you're going to use your local time. If you're in California, you're going to be 6:59. 5:59, sorry, 3 hours. Ticks above the range is 1. Ticks below the range is 1. Show the range graphics on the chart is checked. That means it will just show you the range. It's going to draw the range. Then we're going to go up to range end, and we're ending the range at 9:0040. Well, position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, target 1 is 8, target 2 is 20, target 1 stop move BE -4, break even -4, and I'm using a 15 stop, but I reserve the right to use a 20. Last week I used slightly bigger stops. And then I'm going to go down and label the trade oil open range, right? Oil open range, and put it in the correct account. Funded, number 55, apply it, okay it, and now we have our oil range trade. I am, however, going to remove that one and load my template. I just wanted to show everyone how to set it up. If you then save a template, go to template, click save, give it a name, oil open, and it'll be there every morning for you as a template. I'm going to load my previous template by clicking on NewsTrader, go to template, go to load, and then find the name of the file that you called it. I call it oil new open range or something like that. Let's see where it is. Oil new open range. I'm going to right click it and date it today. Rename it 11226 and load it. And then I'll triple check the setup. I'll go down to the range trade part of the software. Range start 859. Ticks above is 1. Ticks below is 1. Show the range graphics on chart is checked. Then I'm going to go up. Trade type is a range trade. Activate range end 90040. Position 1's a 1. Position 2's a 1. Target 1 is an 8. Target 2 is a 20. Target 1 stop move is BE minus 4. Stop loss is 15 ticks. Trailing mode is off. I'm going to scroll down to setup in the account. I'll put it on number 55, same as our reverse continue. It's already labeled CL range, and I'm going to apply it and I'm ready to go. If you want to save that as a template, you click template and save, and then just give it a name. Now I enable it in the control panel, and we're ready. I need a new mouse. I'm going to the computer store today after WASD. I'm going to buy a new mouse. I need to touch mice before I buy one. So on the YM, generally this time in the morning, I'm usually looking for magnets. I happened to be just watching signals this morning. What I like to do in the morning on the YM is look for a high of day, low of day magnet. We're way closer to the low. I would expect probably this morning to get a test of the low. I think we'll get a test of the low. On the high side, I think you could wait for the high of day. You might be better off move your high of day order down below the PP for a test of the PP. That might work better. Might work better. Because we're going to get to the PP a lot sooner than we get to the high of day, right? Now I am going to turn my magnet off for a minute. And I never named it. And that's why you must name your trades. You got to name them. Because I wasn't sure. Oh, you know what? I did name it YM default magnet. So I need to change. You don't see it easily in the control panel. So I'm going to change that name to YM magnet default. Or mag def YM, so I can see it. What account are we going to trade that in? Where do we put our reverse continue? In number 23. So we'll put it in our prop account. Apply it. Okay it. So we're doing a high of day, low of day magnet. High of day, low of day. Percent proximity is a 3. Position 1 is a 1. Target 1 is -3. That's default. That means it's going to take its target. It's going to exit 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. I'm thinking the low of day is the trade that makes the most sense. I'm just trading one contract this morning. Let me think if I want to trade 2. Target 2 position. If you're going to trade 2 contracts, you make that also a 1. So you have position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. And then let's go 12 ticks through whichever magnet we decide to trigger. And our stop is 35 at the moment. Everything else is labeled. We're labeled magnet, default YM. We're in our prop account 23. And we have one position for a -3 target. That means 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. And then position 2 is a 1 also. And we're looking for 12 ticks past the magnet. Apply it and okay it. There's one thing I got to make sure that's turned off. Turn it on. When you turn on your magnet, you have to adjust your orders. 3 ticks before it gets to the low or to the high. That's where it's going to exit the first order. All right. If you hover over the magnet button, you can see your first target. Selling at 31 down here. It's a pretty big trade. Now, if you want to buy at the PP, buy at a test of the PP, you can make the high of day, low of day magnet test work on multiple levels by just placing your entry in a correct place. Normally, it's going to trade up at the high, right? But there's no law that says I can't move my entry before it gets to the PP for a test of the PP on the upside if the market decides to go up. I'm going to do my normal conservative test of the high. I think it's going to test the low this morning though on the open. But right now let's watch oil and see oil's going to trigger around 9. Why am I not hearing? Let me check something. Not hearing my phone calls. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. All right, so we're just waiting now for the oil open. We have a couple of things in place. I will let the YM trigger. Notice, finally, we got our correct color back on auto mode. It was magenta, not purple. Magenta. I wanted to tell everybody that, so I started talking about Friday morning. Lots of people had frozen orders on the jobs report, and I sent
So
all
English
the
country
data
unchanged at 3.64%
out
January.
to our programmer. There's one thing you want to make sure that you have as a part of every workspace. Every workspace should have new NinjaScript output. When you click NinjaScript output, it opens a window. Minimize that window and then save your trade room workspace. All right? Save your trade room workspace. What that window does, that NinjaTrader output window, the thing you have to remember is if you have a problem like we had that morning, you then copy and paste the information that's in that window and send it to us if we don't know what happened, and I can have the programmer look at it. It's got more data
Order
than
submitted.
log and trace files. So our order 90040 is on the chart.
Order submitted.
All right, filled on the upside. So now I'm just waiting. We're just waiting. I'm not crazy about being filled long. Oil was not easy last week either. Oil was a struggle. There's certainly room to move in both directions on oil. So this oil trade is slow. It's slow every morning. Um, I don't enjoy it that much, to be honest. It's not much fun. We do have some folks watching on YouTube. Nobody ever says a word on YouTube. I don't know why. Say hello if you're watching on YouTube. Not loving the behavior of oil right now. So was this another morning that you should have taken a short outthink the trade? I don't know. I don't like outthinking the trade. It doesn't work lots of times. But I was not dying to be filled long this morning. Very honestly, I was not dying to be filled long. This particular funded account is very bullish. It's been making money, but it's struggling lately. It's still over 51,000, okay? But I don't like getting stopped out. And I'm not crazy about the direction this trade has taken. It's immediately got losing signals. But I'll complain and moan and groan, and you just have to let it trade. Sometimes we see it do exactly what it's doing this morning. Good morning, Roz. The African Queen. How's life in Kenya? Hard to believe. You're in Kenya. And I'm in Philadelphia. That's pretty funny. And it's morning here. Hot and sunny. I wish it were hot and sunny here. I am so done with winter. So done. I hate winter. So we'd love to see a test of target one. Okay? Love to see a test of target one. Only need one more tick. Why didn't it fill? Why is it not filling? What's up? My orders are not filling. I'm going to close this. Do we have frozen data? Do we have frozen data? Is anybody else having a problem getting their orders closed? Frickin' Rhythmic, man.
Order filled.
That's another trade. This is enraging me. Enraging me. Okay, it took me out delayed because of Rhythmic again and again. I bear with me. I mean, it wasn't even fast moving. I mean, it wasn't even fast moving. Does anyone have their R Trader open at the moment? I'm going to open mine. I mean, now the orders are closed. It would have been a bigger profit. It definitely would have been a bigger profit. I mean, I'll take the profit, but I'm not happy about it. I might not have exited the trade had
Trump
everything
tweets
been
Facebook
working
praises
properly.
Meta for hiring Dina Powell McCormick.
That's a little bit annoying. Yes, James, no, the trade, it was highly unlikely that we would have lost on it, but we would have made more, and it's very annoying. It's very annoying. You know, if you trade cash, that most probably would not have been a problem. I don't think Francis is here this morning. Francis is trading cash. I don't, let me see. Francis, you're not here, are you? No. Oh, yeah, maybe. Francis, are you here? Did you happen to trade cash on that? Now, we might have gotten out at a good place, right?
Paramount says they'll propose an
We don't
amendment
know
to
yet. We don't know how oil's going to
bylaws to require
respond
Warner Brothers shareholder approval for any separation of
the
global
rest of the
business.
morning. I am turning off my oil range trade because that trade is over, and I'm removing it from my control panel. And at the moment, I'm done with oil, but I'm going to start a new video because I'm going to be reporting this and I'm not stopping being a lunatic about these order problems. And we'll see what they say. I want answers. I want answers. It's not my computer only, right? I want answers. Francis, I'm guessing you did not trade it. I'm done at the moment with oil, so I'm removing my oil trades. And see, because I wasn't paying attention, I removed my YM reverse continue by accident. So let me put it back. Right chart, strategy, news trader, change the breakout to a reverse continue. One position, 35 target, 35 stop. That's what I usually do in the morning. YM reverse continuation. I accidentally removed it and it was trading it in number 23, labeled YM reverse continue. That's how long it takes to put it back. It's not a big deal. If you make a mistake, just put it back. Turn it on. All right. Now, putting my left-hand chart. Let me start the video over. New video. NQ. And we're getting ready for the US Open. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus and the US Open. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. I mean, look, I accept the fact that order issues are a problem, but it doesn't, or they happen. But it doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. And I'm not. I'm not happy about it when the market is pretty darn slow and it's doing it. MNQ0326 is my MNQ chart for the market open. Putting the chart on sim for a moment. Francis, you traded oil or no? Yes, no, maybe. Right click MNQ and News Trader, changing it to a reverse continue. Couple of contracts, go for a 40 tick target, 75 stop for the MNQ reverse continue. Usually we don't use this. Every now and then I do. I do a scalp after the open. MNQ reverse continue is the label. And then we will trade this in our funded market open MNQ account. Number 54. Apply it and OK it. Turn it on. All right. Chantal, you didn't have any problems with frozen orders? Chantal? No? You're using Apex with which data feed? Rhythmic. Okay. We all had frozen orders.
Says President Sheinbaum.
I
Says
could
we're not
not.
going to discuss trade, drugs, and sovereignty with
I
Trump.
tried to take a target one. It
Says
wouldn't fill
he
target
wants to
one.
discuss trade, drugs, and
It
sovereignty
wouldn't
with
fill
Trump.
target one.
she says that she had a good conversation with Trump.
You might not have seen it, but they were frozen for more than 30 seconds. But they didn't appear frozen unless you moved something. Anyway, it's extremely aggravating, to say the least. Very aggravating. Now, the VWAP is getting tested, right, on the YM. On our MNQ, we have our reverse continuation set up, and we're going to set up our breakout trade Monday morning. Usually Monday morning is a decent move. So I'm going to load my template for the MNQ open. Load. It's called MNQ new open. It's in here somewhere. MNQ new open. I'm going to right click it, rename it with today's date. (1/12/26), and it loads. 9/29/59 is my activation. Bracket of 40. Choose your own number of contracts. My first target is 40 ticks. My second target is 100 ticks. 125 stop on the stop ticks. If it hits my first target, I'll move to break even though probably we should just maybe leave the stop alone. But I do what I do. The account, I'm trading it in, leaving it in sim for a minute. I'm going to put the time on 0 so we could look at the width of the bracket. If you put the time on 0 and turn on the trade will trigger.
Order submitted.
All right, so there's our brackets. I'm going to get rid of our vertical line. Right click, strategy, highlight the breakout trade, go down to optional, show vertical line on entry, remove it, apply it, and OK it.
Order submitted.
And there we go.
Order
I'm
canceled.
going to go back to the strategy, right click it, strategy, highlight the breakout, put the time back to 9/29. It's a bracket of 40, targets of 40 and 100, stop of 125. Now I'll choose the account, number 54, sorry. And are we doing our range trade at 925? First, let's finish getting this trade set up. So this trade is now set up. We do have a 925 range that sometimes works also. It's been hitting the first target most mornings. Now, what you can do is you could just set up another setup on the same chart if you want to, right? You could put it on the same chart. Or I think last week I traded one NQ. Let me see if I can find an extra chart. So I have an extra oil chart that I'm not using at the moment. I need a new mouse. This mouse is just not functioning very well. I need a little more room for my charts. All right, so we could put a third chart here. And we have a 925 NQ 0326. So we've been looking at this 925 range trade. We notice there's a nice move at 925. Right click the chart, click strategy, double click news trader, make it a range trade. We're going to start the range at 924.30, right? One tick above, one tick below, show the range graphics on chart. We're going to end the range 924.59. And I'm going to trade one NQ, and I'm just going to look for 25 ticks profit. And I'll use a 45 tick stop. Nitin, I always forget this 925 trade. I always forget it. So I'm just trading one NQ, see if we can get 25 ticks. I'll trade it just in a regular prop account, not my funded account, just because we haven't really vetted this trade. We just noticed that there's movement that time of day in the morning. NQ 925, I'm going to call it. And I'll date it today. And I'll save a template. Template, save. NQ 925, dated today. All right. And starting at 924.30 is when the range starts, and the range ends at 924.59. Just trading one position. Now, I'll tell you what, let's make our target 40 ticks, right? If the market moves 30 ticks in our favor, I'm going to move the stop to break even plus 25.
Reached out to White House's envoy Witkoff over the weekend amid Trump's threats of
Now I'm going to apply it.
in support of recent protests.
Resave the template.
With the matter.
And what do we call it? NQ 925. And resave it. There we go. All right, let's see what happens. Putting it on account number 23. Right? Our software is on 23. So we have a range trade. It'll start to draw. Now, my YM, I want my magnet on auto mode if it goes and tests the low.
Also from the piece from Axios, Iran's Foreign Minister Araghchi and Witkoff discuss potential meetings soon.
Ah, Francis. So, Francis, you had no data feed problems with cache this morning. That's all I wanted to know. You had no data feed problems. James, I'm reading what you said. I'm reading what you said. So here's our NQ for a 905 trade. We have our normal MNQ open all the way on the left.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
I got filled long at 9 on the 925 trade. One position. If it moves 35 ticks in our favor, did I say 30? I think I said 30. If it goes up a little bit, I'm not crazy about being filled long on this range, but it's only a 45 stop. It's not a very big stop. I'm just moving it a couple more ticks below the range there. Not a lot. And it's frozen. Frozen orders. Frozen orders. Okay? I may not trade the NQ open, the MNQ open, because the data is not reliable this morning. I'm looking, unfortunately, I'm not a RTrader user in the sense that I don't know the platform well enough to trade it. I'm not embarrassed to say that, but I don't. RTrader will not load. Now the order is not frozen. My guess is if we move it, it's going to freeze again, right? That's my guess. It makes it very uncomfortable, James, because this is a significant problem. Significant problems are different from an occasional problem. You know, an occasional problem you don't mind. So
Order
my
filled.
range trade absolutely did not work. All right. The 925 range. And I'm just testing. You know, we got filled on the wrong side. Maybe we shouldn't have allowed, maybe we shouldn't have allowed a short trade on that trade. All right, waiting for the real trade. Left side of the left chart. So the NQ 925. We're going to just have to look at that time frame and see if we can come up with a good setup. See if we can come up with a good setup. Roz, that usually means you've chosen the wrong account. Roz, very often that means you're on the wrong account. Okay, you double check.
One minute ago now to view the market on open imbalance data.
All right, we have less than a minute. I'm definitely concerned that our orders are going to freeze this morning. Now, the one thing I should have done on that NQ chart is put a reverse continue on it. Always put a reverse continuation on every chart.
10 seconds.
Always put it on every chart.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Market on
Order
open.
filled.
All right, the NQ
Order
worked,
filled.
hit both
158
targets.
million.
Immediate
Nasdaq 100
winning
buy side,
trade.
35.4 million.
Immediate,
Dow 50 sell
instant
side,
winner.
78.4 million. Maximum buy side,
YM
24.1 million.
looking to go the opposite direction. And the NQ instant winning trade, I'll take it. I'm turning off my MNQ breakout and I'm removing it. Watching the YM for a minute or so. It's pretty negative. The YM is pretty negative. I thought it would shoot down and test the low. Right now, it's
CME
not
S&P 500
quite there yet.
0.2% lower. Nasdaq 100 down 0.6%.
I'll let it trade. It's not in a funded account. It's just trading in the
See Walmart rising 2.6%
same account that the
to record
NQ
and to be
trade did
added
not
to
work.
Nasdaq 100 index.
Looks like the MNQ wants to make new highs, though.
The shares of US banks fall after Trump calls for 1-year cap on credit card interest rates.
Should at
at
least.
Order
6%.
submitted.
So there's our YM fill. Like to see it hit the first target. At least. Hit the first target. Two ticks away from the first target. And the problem, that might be, all right, here we go.
Order filled.
Moving my stop to safety. If it changes its direction, and I think
Order
I'll
filled.
chase it down almost flat now in that account. That was a $250 trade. All right, made 250 back on that test of the low. The reason I chased it down, I'm just concerned that the test of the low is over and the NQ and MNQ are bursting up,
JP Morgan
right?
shares down 2%.
They look
Citi down
look like they
3.2%.
want to
Bank of
test the
America down
high.
1.3%. Wells Fargo down
If you don't have
1.5%.
time to put a magnet on, you could put a reverse continuation on, right? You can put it on fairly quickly. And then if you want to take a scalp, at least you have your reverse continuation on the chart. I'm not jumping in this morning. We had a YM magnet winner, 250 bucks, MNQ winner, and oil winner. All right. The only loser was a trade we're testing at 925 that we honestly haven't vetted it yet. So I'm not really sweating the fact that that didn't work, but I'm going to make some notes so we start testing it, see if it's worth it. And if I trade it again, I'll use the MNQ. There's no reason to test it with the full-size instrument. Makes no sense, right? You might as well test it with smaller risk. Okay, Francis, is the course worthwhile? Was it worthwhile? I'm thinking of taking an AI course. A specific one for videos and stuff. Francis, nice trade. Oil. What are you guys doing with silver? Did you guys trade silver this morning? MNQ was quick and easy, Frank. It was great. It was quick and easy.
Order submitted. Order submit. Order filled.
Look, it wouldn't even place my order, and it stopped me out because it wouldn't place the order properly. This is ticking me off so much and making me so angry that the orders, you can't even put orders. I couldn't even put an NQ on the chart. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous with their data feed. Hey, everybody on YouTube, the trades that counted, every one of them worked and we all made money. So thanks for watching on YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll see everybody back in the morning. So we're done streaming for this morning. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell so you know the next time we're streaming.